back to people, you have good questions, and sometimes we get in the habit, like Michael's background is media, and he was supposed to grow people. That was part of his job. He's like, oh, it's a tough habit to break. So totally get it, and we'll help you with it, and part of the challenge, and also part of the opportunity. So remember to take turns. Sometimes we get excited about questions, and we want to ask like 7 in a row. I do it myself. If we have extra time, you can ask all the ones you want, but make sure to kind of share and rotate. Jake, our friend in the back, is running a Miingl. He presented a couple months ago. He's doing hybrid events. We're running experiments. Hybrid events are hard. I don't know if he's figured out. He said he ran into a problem this morning that he's never encountered before. Hey, all right. So for the presentations, we'll get it working. So again, thanks, Jake, for showing up. He came and has done dry runs. He's making stuff work and trying to figure it out. It's both good for him, but also good to help bring this to other people if we can. So I don't know if you have joined a Miingl, but if you haven't, you should try it if you can't make it. And if you have and you've got thoughts or feedback, Jake would love to hear it because they get better and understand it better when people tell them. I'll go back just one slide to be kind. We all get emotional and connected to these things that we love. So the feedback's appreciated, but how we do it is still important. And then last slide for me, mostly the bit.ly. We actually have a draft website that here sucks, but it's better than the other one. So we'll try to make it better, maybe. I don't promise. But you can hop on to 1mcslc.com and you can apply to present. You can find the Miingl link there. I'll try to do some other things with it, but right now I'm trying to make sure the chairs are set up and the coffee is made. So like one step at a time. Yeah. Okay, so I will help transition to Derek. Derek's going to present. And while we do it, one of the things, especially this time of year, but generally something I started during COVID is giving people space to talk about celebrations, things that they accomplished in personal life or in business, but maybe you don't get a chance to tell anybody, or a complaint. For the regulars, everybody knows that I love complaints and nobody takes me up on it. So for the new folks, I encourage you to raise your hand and complain about something. It's good for us, but celebrating is good too. So while I'm transitioning slides, anybody have big stuff going on? Anything to celebrate? Anything to complain? Steve, what you got?
All righty, my name is Steve Femino. My complaint is, actually, it's a real one. So I've got a friend visiting, and my garage door shuts automatically. He didn't know that, so he backs very quickly into my garage door. And so it's been a fun week. Finally got it sorted yesterday. So it's a complaint and like a celebration, but it was like, thanks for visiting.
Here's your bill. Right? That's good. Thanks for complaining. See, this is why we complain, right? It's like,
I've got a little piece of news.
yeah.
I'm Patty, and I've been sober for 33 days. Actually, like, yeah, hours maybe.
Hours, yeah.
If you guys know me, you know I'm sustainability crazy, environmental nut, and all that. I started an e-bulletin for actionable things that every Utah citizen can do, like public comments, links to public comments for projects that might be happening in the state, or going to a rally at the Capitol, or things like that, like literally things that will make a difference instead of just reading every day in the news about how our air quality is so bad. So if you're interested in signing up to get the newsletter, come talk to me and I'll put you on the list. So.
Yay.
Patty, we should hang out. All right, my name's Adam. I've been coming here for a while.
He hates packaging.
I work in the packaging industry. I've got a celebration and a complaint. So a celebration is, I actually got to go to Dubai. The United Nations does a climate change conference every year called COP28, and I got to go meet with people in government and talk about how we can keep our world heading towards, reduction in carbon emissions. And I was actually really encouraged. There's a lot of people, really smart people, smarter than me, doing a lot of great work. And along that, my complaint, these beverages taste delicious. From a packaging standpoint, though, this shrink sleeve on the outside needs to be removed before you recycle it, and it's hard to remove it. So next time you run these shrink sleeves, you can put these little perforations right along the seam. It's free. It doesn't cost anymore. Not sure who would know. You can put these little seams down there and just tear it right off, and you throw away the shrink sleeve, and then you can recycle your can. So there you go.
Yay.
Yay.
Jake, is my stuff, your stuff working? Do you want to switch back? You want me to go back to there? I'm fine to stay up there. I thought you said you were up and running, so I wasn't sure.
Brittany, you have anything to say? Okay.
Hi, I'm Brittany. If you've had a chance to talk to me, I'm trying to make a transition from the advertising world, doing account management and project management, over to product development. And yesterday I had trying to make this change. I had my first interview. It was at OC Tanner, and I really liked them, and I believe they liked me equally. So
See? Why do we keep these things to ourselves, right? We need to celebrate. There's some big stuff that happens. It's hard to... Joe, what do you got?
I know of 2 pitch fests that are going to occur during Tech Week. One with 7X and our own Rob Blanchard is going to put together a all-day pitch fest. The location's yet to be determined. It might have to do with unders and bellies, but we got to determine that. Also, there are a number of filmmakers that are going to be doing the pitch fest for film and for different scripts and that type of thing. The date hasn't been declared, but it will probably be on 3 days, one in Provo, one in Farmington at the whatever that space station place is, and then another one that might be here. So if you have any interest in being able to pitch into the entertainment world and film type of world, digital film, let me know. And then, of course, with Rob from 7X, there's going to be some great opportunities there as well. Okay, thank you.
I'm going to introduce you to Patty. She's been clean for 35 hours. So also, I have a thing to share. I met with Ed, fellow Marine. If you know of anybody in, former military or even active military, family, friends, neighbors that need assistance, I do that kind of mentoring and coaching on the side. I'd be happy to support anyone's efforts in helping a veteran, retiree, or active duty military or family member.
Awesome. Chairs up front, Sam. If you want to sit, you're welcome to hang out in the back. But in case people don't know, there's 7 or 8 chairs up front. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Any luck? All right. We'll go back. Hybrid events. We're doing our best.
One last thing. First off, thank you guys for hosting such an incredible space. This is so great. Round of applause for you real quick. So thank you guys so much. This is great. This is so fantastic. I wanted to say first off with that, but tomorrow is an Asian Pacific Islander Chamber event on Thursday and Friday. So they're all-day events, very low entry fees, and it's a great way to get involved in the community to see what challenges that we're seeing out there and how we can help the minority groups that are out here in Salt Lake that we're just all trying to be a part of. So I'll be out there tomorrow, and it'll be nice to see some of you. So, but that's out tomorrow.
Awesome.
Do you have a website you can give to Jake maybe before we end, and you can put it up with a QR code or something? Okay. Anybody else before I pick on somebody? Okay.
Hey, I'm ready to go though, I think.
Hi, Rob Slingerland. Go way back with this guy, Joel Smith, here to my right, is how I've been introduced to Million Cups. But A big week for me last week. I shut down my Vegas residence, and the pod is coming on Friday, and I've recommitted myself to the Salt Lake City market. So after 25 years in LA and 3 years in Vegas, it's great to be back and look to networking, get to know many of you as I reintroduce myself to the Salt Lake City market. So thank you. So I had the question, what's my industry? That's a broad. I'm CEO, CFO that have run private equity and venture-backed companies, done a lot of restructuring, taking companies through Chapter 11, and recently restructured and took a large Las Vegas, Nevada cannabis company through a restructuring and receivership.
All I heard from that communication is there's a pool that is vacant in Vegas.
Hi, Blanca Luna Ainsworth here, and my complaint is I did not get lost getting here today. So I'm new, it's my second time here, and I am in the health and wellness space. I am with Stem Cell Nutrition. It's plant-based. It helps you regenerate your own stem cells through a supplement. And I also just launched a YouTube channel mid-October, and had my first interview for a subject matter expert in the health and wellness space this week. So I'm excited. Huge learning curve. And the name of the podcast is Your Health is Your Greatest Wealth.
Awesome. Welcome, welcome.
By the way, we allow presenters here weekly. So make sure. Okay.
1mcslc.com. Click to apply to present. Get you in line. All right. Derek is up first with Body Sites. So if you don't know Derek, he's been coming off and on for a bit and been part of the community. So excited to learn more about what he's up to with Body Sites. Let's give Derek a big round of applause.
Thank you. Rob's been trying to get people to come up to the front, so I'm just going to pick my volunteers from the back.
Based on how today's going, I can't promise anything.
Okay, so I'm Derek Clark. My company is Body Sites. I train body language. So basically, I'm a nonverbal and body language alchemist, which means that I help companies turn their interactions into pure gold. I learned how to do all of this when I was younger. I was always considered to be like an entertainer by trait, not by trade. I didn't really get paid for it. I just kind of would be on stage a lot, and I would watch people, and I would adjust how I did things based on what I saw. And then later, I joined the military, and I became a counterintelligence agent. So that means that I did investigations into national security crimes like espionage or terrorism. And then, but part of a counterintelligence agent also runs what is similar to like a police informant network in other countries. So I would talk to people on the street. I would talk to intelligence agencies in foreign countries, and I would learn I would try to get them to provide information and cooperate with the United States. So to do that, the military sent me through several schools to learn how to interact better with people and how to read the nonverbal cues and how to influence based on what you see. But now I'm out of the military, and this is what I do for these types of companies right here. I've talked to sales teams, I've talked to HR professionals, I've talked to police, I've talked to real estate agents, and we've talked about like negotiation based on the body language that you see. Building relationships, leadership development. Those are the types. So pitch competitions. You mentioned, Joel, that there's some pitch competitions coming up. I've coached people before they pitch their business. So those are the. If this applies to any of you, or you know someone that it applies to, then this is what I do. But really, essentially, that's pretty much it for what I do. So instead of like going through how I run my business, I'm just going to give you a demo. We're just going to talk about some of the things that that you can look for really fast. It's very complicated, like watching nonverbals and body language, because they're going to be different for every single person. So I'm just going to give you like a 5-minute crash course, so that you can start to see things and put them into different categories. And so we're going to do this by, if you are like, if you know anything about like ones and zeros, I'm going to tell you that this is how I want you to do this. I'm going to give you like a quick way to categorize how to read people based on whether they are comfortable or they aren't comfortable, whether they see you as a threat or whether they see you as not a threat. So it's while it's very complicated, and like the signals that you could see from anybody might differ based on the context of the conversation, based on that person's background, based on whatever it is that I just, the topic of conversation, whatever it is that I just threw out there. While those things can be different, which is all part of that ones and zero code, the basics of it is that people are either comfortable or uncomfortable, or they see you as a threat or they see you as not a threat. So sometimes when people see you as that threat, then they're going to feel stress. Be stressed like just somewhere in the body, and what happens is it needs to go somewhere. So it will leave and it will manifest itself in the body, even though the words say, no, I'm totally fine. Their body might be telling you a different story. So anytime you see that stress, it's going to manifest itself in one of 4 ways. And the easiest way to remember it is to take heed of that stress. Take heed of that discomfort. And by heed, I mean it as an acronym where someone may hide, someone may escape, someone may try to ease that tension, or someone may put themselves in a defensive position. Anytime you see any one of these heed indicators, then you can know that they're probably uncomfortable about something that you just said. They're uncomfortable with you as a person. They're uncomfortable because they have to be somewhere and you're not letting them go. Or they're not paying attention. They're not engaged in your conversation. You see those things, they may see you as a threat financially. They may see you as a threat to their status quo. They may see you as a threat to them physically or emotionally. So this looks like some of the things that you might do, like for defend, a guy might stand like that. A woman may cover her suprasternal notch. This area right here, from your like the triangle from your eyes to your genitals, I call the vulnerability triangle, because all of your vital organs are right in here, and people, when they're uncomfortable, will tend to protect those things. Now, you also do it when you are relaxed. So sometimes people may see closed off to me. So there may be a lot of different reasons. When you see a heat indicator, then there's just it's your opportunity to find out more. Sometimes defensive posture can be something like if we're having a conversation here and I put my cup right there in between us, it sends a subconscious signal that I'm putting up a barrier. Sometimes people may hide. I don't know if you've ever like seen people at a podium and they just kind of stay behind that podium and hold it real tight and they don't move the entire time, or maybe they move like this. They make themselves smaller. They bring their shoulders up when they're tense. Those are all things that people can do to hide. They don't want you to see them because they're uncomfortable with you seeing them. Sometimes people may ease their tension. You may see, you may speak, you do this. And you want to. Sometimes people may put themselves in a position of escape. Where, so if you can, yeah, face that way, no, well, yeah, like that. But now turn your upper. Okay, right now, Patty is trying to, she's trying to save face with me. She's trying to be respectful by turning her torso towards me, but the feet are pointed somewhere else. She's trying to escape. May mean that she is uncomfortable with our conversation. It may mean that she is comfortable with it, but she has to be somewhere. But these are things that you can see. You'll notice that she's uncomfortable. Now, if we're like this, just squared up, then it may be a little bit more aggressive. Or it may be a little bit more intimate, and so you have to know what's going on in the conversation to identify. But one of the best things that show, we stand like this, where we're both kind of at a 45-degree angle, that says that we're more relaxed. It also says that, your name is Sam? Sam. It says that Sam can be invited to come into this area, in this space. In a networking event like this, see people like this, then is an open invitation for other people to join the conversation. Now, going on with open, that open posture that we just ended up with, you can also show that you're comfortable and relaxed and confident by doing the opposite of heat. Anytime that you notice yourself doing a heat indicator, then open yourself up. And I'm just going to show you, like, real quick, some things. And so anytime that you feel that, like, you're sensing a heat indicator in yourself, or basically like concentrate on the context, figure out why, and if you need to change, get yourself out of the situation. Like, go ahead and but remember that anytime that if I'm showing Sam, I'm sending a message to Sam that I think he is correct. But if I send nothing to be afraid of from you, then I send a subconscious. So it automatically. There's a lot of other things. There's much more into as you interact with people. If you can easily categorize them in comfort and discomfort. Are they hiding? Are they defending? Are they easing tension? Are they trying to escape a situation? And then that will help you to like change your interaction so that you can have better success. So basically, if you would like to know more, here's my personal contact information. Here's the Body Science website, and I would be happy to talk to any of you about this, or you have people that
Awesome. Give Derek a big round of applause. So a couple questions. I see hands. tell us how you make money. Tell us a little bit about what that looks like working with body sites and who your target customer ideal person is to work with.
So essentially, like I have talked to all of so like I've talked to sales teams, I've talked to police, talked to lawyers, talked to real estate agents, human resources for development. But it's all still pretty money making. Got out of the army in July. So this is something that I've been kind of, it's been conceptual for a while, and it's recently been released. So I haven't made a lot, but I do so I do talk to some people, but those are the people that I am targeting.
When you're handsome and look like me in this world, you have to learn this early on to read body language. So my ask is when you're training police officers, peace officers, or whatever they're calling themselves, they need to learn how to not be threatening to a non-threatening person. Because I'm a really nice guy. And lastly, talk to me later. You have a wonderful opportunity on the speaking circuit, and we can chat about that.
I can't decide if the chairs are tall or I'm just short, but they're really high up there. I wanted to know from a perspective like Zoom, so much stuff is done on camera. One, both, have you thought about how you will teach this information to those who are on Zoom and teach the information? Because for instance, on the interview, it was a little box that I was talking to this guy. And so there's not a whole lot.
So I do teach Zoom specific things. There's some things that you can do. Like I said, you wanted to show your palms. Sit back from your Zoom screen. Sometimes people will get there and they're like their nose is right up in the screen, and so the same spatial feelings that you have where someone is invading your space can happen as well on your Zoom chat. So step back a little bit. We talk about, I do talk about like facial expressions that are universal, regardless of what culture that we're in. And so there are some things that you can do for Zoom that will help you and benefit you.
Have you done any work with the neurodiverse to be able to tie into how to be able to do sensory training? Because I'm sure that those that work in that realm, that could be very, very helpful.
That is something that I've been like doing a little bit more research on because a lot of people have asked me that. The thing that I have noticed with the neurodiverse is like I talked before about like people are either comfortable or uncomfortable. The same is true with the neurodiverse. That they're going to have a baseline, and in some of my courses that we talk about getting that baseline. Neurodiverse have baselines, and when they deviate from that baseline, that's when you can tell that there's a little bit of discomfort. And so I'm still working on establishing like training for that, but I'd like to get a little bit more involved in that.
So going back to Zoom, I'm on Zoom a lot, and I never know where to look because if I'm looking at people, my eyes aren't at the camera. But if I'm looking at the camera, then I can't see people's expressions, their hand movements, and if they're engaged.
And there's ways. So it depends. Yeah, you can have. There's tools where you can put the camera in the middle of your screen. You can get like the cameras that you plug in and you drop it down so it's right in the middle of your screen. You can look at that way. There's also other. You can block out. You just kind of don't look at the like turn the screen off and just look at the camera. Or you can also do things like if you're the type of person that likes to look at yourself, then there's ways that you can take yourself off the screen. But they do have some things. Where to look is the camera. But if that means you have to put the camera right in the middle of your screen, then do that.
Sorry, just 2 quick points. One on the neurodiversity. I think also like to help neurodiverse people, as father of an autistic child, to like pick up on those cues. So not only to, help identify maybe the neurodiverse person's cues, but also help them perceive what's going around, what's going on around them.
I've actually, from the ones that I've talked to, then they actually pick up on those cues better than most people. The thing is that because they need structure, and this is not really much of a structured kind of thing because it's different with everyone. They don't know what to do about it, and so that's something that I'd like to work on as well.
And sorry, my second point was just on the law enforcement. I know there's a big push, to de-escalate potentially violent situations and use other personnel besides maybe, a standard police force to like help with that. Teams like that seem like they could really use your skills to be able to see, is this a truly dangerous situation? How aggressive is this person?
Right.
That kind of thing. And I'm
And
sure
I do
you've thought about that.
Yeah, and part of my police training has de-escalation in it, so like de-escalation techniques.
Complicated with qualified immunity. It's tough.
So this is great. I would say you can do a lot of things with the skills. My recommendation would be if you're looking to have it turn into a money-making business, that you need to focus, because you can get really good. You have I could do this and I could do this and I talk to these people and this and this. That's great. You'll be a great donor of your time to everybody that needs help. And that's great. If that's what you want to do, there's totally nothing wrong with that. My brain's always like, how are we going to make money? And I don't mean that in sort of a ruthless capital way. I mean, you're trying to build a business, right? So my recommendation is, and I've got a couple, I mean, we could talk offline. I've got a couple recommendations about where I would focus if I was you. But I would make sure that you're not getting too distracted. And whatever it is where you're putting your energy, you're refining that message, you're refining your show so that people are entertained, they're captivated, and those things are worth significant amounts of money. So that's sort of on the conversation about a talking circuit, right? There's lots of ways to make money in front of big groups of people.
Thank you.
Great points, Phil. And everybody, thanks for the comments and feedback. I got magic mug here. So the magic mug keeps hot things hot, cold things cold. But more importantly, being an entrepreneur and asking for help is one of the biggest challenges. So what can our community do that would make a difference for Derek, for Body Sites?
So, I mean, I would like to, like some people mentioned. Trying to find that niche.
Yeah, sounds good. So if you know anybody, if you're interested, let Derek know, chat with him about Body Sites. And customer discovery is hard. If you haven't done it before, it's not easy. So he's knee deep in it right now. So let's give Derek a big round of applause. Okay, Simon is up next. I think we've got it, maybe. Yeah, Jake, we get it? All right. Hooray, huzzah. I don't know how that works, but okay, so I'm going to take the clicker back. I'm going to give Simon a mic. So let's give Simon a big round of applause. And we're going to try to make it all work.
I threw a monkey wrench in by playing a video that has audio in my presentation, so we're working around that one. But just a quick, while we are setting everything up in the back, my name is Simon. I'm a photographer, filmmaker, and builder of all sorts of things. I have built multiple adventure rigs, things like that. I am a creative in every aspect of the word. And I'm here to tell you guys a little bit about myself, but also to talk to you guys about something I'm in the works on that I'm launching next year. Jake, give me a thumbs up when you're ready. All right, so I'm going to let you guys get a better idea of who I am this way.
For me, the outdoors feels like home. A home full of friends and experiences. Throughout my lifetime, it's looked drastically different. Whether I'm working with a nonprofit in the Democratic Republic of Congo or I'm skiing in the Wasatch of my backyard here in Salt Lake City, one thing has remained the same. How do I spend more time outside? The more remote, the better.
So the general gist of it is I am one of those people that has an explorer's complex. I have been to 25 plus countries. I've been to all 50 states. I've worked on 5 continents. And basically what I do is there we go. I support brands and nonprofits that are trying to make better communities. And that looks drastically different whether I'm working with a massive corporation or I am working with a small nonprofit. As you can see with some of my past clients, I have worked with some massive brands and it looks different for every company. I've also worked with some tiny nonprofits that are working with a single hospital in the middle of the Democratic Republic of Congo, things like that. And so that's kind of where my mindset has come, and kind of basically how I make money is on these big projects with companies in the US. Obviously I'm getting paid directly, but on some of these smaller projects, like one of the projects I've got in the works, I'm actually fundraising to help the nonprofit, because a lot of the nonprofits I'm helping in these remote places are so small that they're barely sustaining on their own. So what I'm trying to do is help them actually grow. So I'm working with the nonprofit to get the funding together to make a project happen. And I have to give you guys a little example, E4 project is a project I did in 2017, and they maybe do $100,000 in donations a year, and we ended up getting them about $300,000 in donations for various things, and they have greatly expanded that hospital to the point where the hospital director left to start another hospital. He also is the only board certified surgeon for 1.9 million people in the region. To give you an idea, for the same population they have there, we would have 5,291 doctors in the US. And he is the only one. So yeah, so that's a little bit of what I do. And one of the things I've learned over the past decade plus doing this is there is like 3 or 4 core things that everyone wants in life. Can anyone take a guess as to what those things are? Correct. Safety. Roof over their head, food on the table, clean water. No. The second one would be for their kids to be educated. And the third one is to have some joy in life. And what I have realized in being in all of these different places is that looks vastly different depending on your upbringing and where you are. And so in January, I'm actually launching a podcast, which is why I'm here, because I want your guys' feedback on how I bring this to life. I want to dig into deeper conversations about the concept of community and what sustainable community looks like to different people. I've seen a lot of podcasts about community, I've seen a lot of podcasts about sustainability. Never has someone merged the two. And really what this looks like is there's underlying themes in every aspect of life. My first season I'm planning on doing around Salt Lake City, and I've already kind of got some people together for that idea. But basically, I want to take a person and ask them about how they view sustainability and what a sustainable community looks like to them, and then dig into their life story of how they got to that point in their life. And part of this is I'm completely branding this entire thing, and so I'm struggling a little bit with my name on it, and also trying to get ideas of potential seasons or themes that people would want to see as an underlying theme. Kind of my vision for this is that I'd have a 5 to 8 episode season with an underlying theme across all of my guests. So this could be, for a season, Salt Lake City. It could also be the outdoor industry. It could be retail. It could be entrepreneurs in the tech space. But basically having an underlying theme and talking to them about how they view their community and how it can be sustainable into the future, because we have a long time of being here. So yeah, I would love some feedback on this concept. And if you guys have ideas or thoughts on it, I would love to hear from you guys.
Awesome. Hold on, Michael.
I have an...
I'll say that again. Excuse me. Anyway, do you have 13 half hours in the bag? Because if you do, we can go to a different zone right away. And I've seen stuff like this making on Informally Discovery and Animal Planet. And
so I don't have them recorded yet. I'm doing my recording in January, hoping to launch in February or March. I have nothing edited. I'm recording these in January, but I'm developing the brand right now, so that way once I start to build everything, I can just go. And so, but I do have people that I already have basically lined up my first season of 8 people. And then I also have about 4 or 5 seasons worth of potential people in the bag, or like on a list of people to talk to.
Hey, Simon.
Yeah.
Sorry. Recovering from a cold.
That's all good.
So I started a podcast, actually launched it here at 1 Million Cups
Okay.
almost 5 years ago. And so what I would say is, it sounds like you're already thinking longer term, because what I found is starting a podcast, having the idea is easy, but knowing what you're trying to accomplish is going to be the thing that's going to carry you through it. So I started, similar to you, like I started the first podcast in an entire segment.
Okay.
I didn't know what I was trying to do. I just was like, oh, this is a great idea. Let me start it. And then once I started to fine tune it, over the course of time is when I started to get people to help me fund it and get sponsors to come on board.
Yeah.
So I think having an understanding of just, the sustainability in the communities, that's great. But beyond that, what are you trying to accomplish?
So part of this for me is to be like marketing myself, to get in with brands and nonprofits that I would love to work with. But also I just want to be able to have conversations with interesting people. 2 things that I've learned in life is don't be a dick and be interesting. And that's gotten me very far. And I love having random conversations with interesting people.
Yeah, I love that. Also, if you need any help with, like I found a lot of, I switched from Anchor to Substack.
Okay.
And that's what I started to publish through Substack, and found a really awesome community
would
there.
love to
So
chat with
I can
you
help
more.
you with some more logistical things. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
And the podcast went from this idea to all sorts of partners and opportunities. If you follow any Adam stuff, similar journey for the same reasons, but with some really great results.
That's rad.
Sorry, I saw him.
Have you read John Lee Dumas's book, The Common Path to Uncommon Success?
No.
It's JLD. He runs Entrepreneurs on Fire.
I know that.
And his book is like a cookbook on how to start a podcast.
Can you say that name again?
John Lee Dumas.
Nope. The book name.
Common Path to Uncommon Success.
Cool.
Michael, a couple more and then back your way.
I'm pretty sure I heard the name of your podcast is "Don't Be a Dick and Be Interesting."
It's a little long, and
I'd listen to that though.
That's fair. And that's one of the things that I've been like trying to figure out is like what to name this, because naming it Sustainable Communities is boring, dry, and no one's going to listen to it. One idea One of the names that my girlfriend and I have been like tossing around is common cultures, because it's short and sweet, but also like is broad enough that I'm not pigeonholing myself into a geographical or topical like niche too deeply.
And then you said you had 8 people already lined up, and you're looking for a theme.
I
Just kinda
well,
curious if
so
those.
I have my first season of people lined up. It's more for like continuing on. So like if someone has an idea of like a topic that might be interesting to dig deeper into, because there's a lot of fields out there that could be dug into that I haven't necessarily thought about. I've just been like thinking about the connections that I have and people that I could easily get to sit down and have a conversation. And so that's where I'm like trying to like start to like put feelers out of like a potential season 2, season 3. But I've got people that I already know for my season 1 that makes it a little easier for me to get into the role of things by having a conversation with someone that I'm already somewhat familiar with.
You were saying that you wanted to be able to tap into a few of the nonprofits.
Yes.
Utah Foundation is kind of the fund of funds for anything that has to do with that. Ian, Brad, or Jeremy over there.
Okay.
Tell them what you want to do. You'll have an endless amount of access.
I want to talk to you more after.
Okay.
Michael had one. I didn't see any other hands, but Michael was the last, unless somebody else puts a hand up.
Yeah, I saw something I could sell. That was, if you could, is the reason why you're doing Salt Lake is because you don't have enough money to go around the world and do these things?
No, the reason is because I love Salt Lake and it's a great community to start in. And I have people from very different backgrounds that have a unifying theme of they all live in Salt Lake City. I am looking at a CrossFit gym owner, a Felicia, Utah Global Diplomacy. I'm looking at someone that works in the film industry and someone that works in the brewing industry as my first few guests. Basically trying to get a vast difference of people's backgrounds that all have the one underlying bit that they all happen to be here in Salt Lake City and come from very different viewpoints in life.
Right. How do you make money?
I make money making photo and video packages for various clients. I have done everything from 10 to 15-minute features to 30-second social ads. I've helped launch numerous things. I actually helped launch the first fully handicap accessible high ropes course on the East Coast of the US. And that was a wild experience because it ended up getting 100,000 views on Facebook alone in the first week, and we launched it the week before Christmas.
Wow.
Which is the worst time to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I've done all sorts of things. That's how I make money. If anyone needs photo or video work, I'd love to have a conversation, especially if it's around something that is creating sustainability in your community, however that may look for you.
I know somebody that also does some of this work and is focused on sustainability with an e-newsletter.
I may know a person. We may have had a couple conversations.
Good. Do you have enough work?
Work's been slow, but it's also been a really hard year in the commercial space, especially with having the Hollywood strikes that have indirectly impacted the commercial world because guys who would normally be working on TV shows have jumped to commercial work. And so this year was a slow year, but that's part of why I want to do the podcast is because if I can build something else, it creates another revenue stream eventually as it starts to grow. And I'm just trying to diversify, but also meet interesting people.
Awesome. Well, I think it's great. I'm glad Adam is here. The universe brought him today mostly for this, but if he wasn't here, I would say, you know who you should talk to about this that's got a ton of experience, that has some success and has some insights? That would be Adam. So glad you came today, my friend. Thanks for being here.
I'm glad you're here.
Here's your own magic mug, Simon, from us to you. What can we do for you that would make a difference? How can we help?
When I launch the podcast, listen to it and give me feedback. I'm hoping to be launching them, like putting episodes live starting mid-February to early March. And so I really would love to get some tangible feedback from people that are not people that are going to say yes all the time to me and tell me that I'm glorious because I screw up things. And having good, hard feedback is the best way to grow.
Awesome.
way better than a descriptive name in most marketing situations.
100%.
So if you had a T-shirt that said "Don't Be a Dick" podcast, everybody's going to ask about that.
That's fair.
I mean,
That's fair.
everybody's going to ask about that. Yeah, but you could come up with something clever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Something clever. You know, Apple Computers doesn't say they're not, digital computers. They're
Yeah.
Apple Computers. It's something very creative,
Yeah.
not descriptive. Usually works better, depending on what the situation is.
Cool.
So.
Appreciate it.
You have me at Don't Be a Dick, Be Interesting. I will listen every week. I promise. Yeah, that's it. Cool. All right. Well,
Awesome.
let's
Thank you,
give
guys.
Simon a big round of applause. All right, y'all. Another one in the books. Happy December. Thanks to our friends at Underbelly, Anthony and Kit and Tony. Thanks for hosting us, letting us take over for the morning, helping out. I don't know if you noticed their cool little sign about not startling the designers. That was cute. So that's how talented they are. They're just like, I'll just whip up some cool art right on the spot. Made signs happen. So thanks, guys. Thanks for having us here. Thanks to Memo and RRC for the coffee and the sponsoring for December. Thanks for everybody showing up to be here and to help set up and move stuff around. Still taking feedback on how to make it work better. Parts of it work better. I'm sure there's other stuff we can do. So if you got ideas, come tell me. Do me a favor with these little black chairs, stack them next to each other so there's a little more room to hang out and chat. And we'll be here again next week. So happy Wednesday. Hope to see you next week.